This right here gonna be a cakewalk.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I believe this is the second video I made after the accident. For those of you who don't know, about a week ago I was in a car accident, and all the videos you have seen the past week are videos that I pre-made before the accident, because on this YouTube channel I kind of work ahead. I have just many videos saved up just because I like to make videos, and it just so happened I had a car accident and I was able to offload a lot of that saved up content. But the reason why I say all that, this video that I am making today, I originally made it a few days ago, but it was very poor quality. I would say the concussion and all that stuff kind of made me like talk slow and whatnot. So I wanted to do the video again, short and sweet. I'm feeling a little bit better and I wanted to do the video again. So I have 3-4 topics here. I just want to talk about all these things, break it down. You guys know how we do this. The first one, and this one is kind of the big one, or actually I'll save the big one for last. Let's talk about the 3 smaller topics. These all relate to Tekken 8. The first one, this one says, if Lei is not in Tekken 8, I will cry exactly 0 tears. Now, something that I always say about Lei, and the community, you guys in the comment section always correct me on this. I say everyone asks for Lei as DLC, but no one plays him. And there was a comment, I'll put the comment up on the screen. It said, don't repeat things that Mayman Sui said. Mayman Sui is biased against characters, basically. And that made me think, like, you know what? I was saying that because Mayman Sui said that, but also the reason why I say that is because of the unofficial character statistics. I went back and I took screenshots of those. I will break that down in a video of its own. Even though I did a video on that in the past, I want to revisit that subject because I think it's a lot to talk about there. And I just want to talk about that, how it translates to the future where we're at now. But going back to this tweet, if Lei is not in Tekken 8, I will cry exactly 0 tears. 255 likes. Me personally, I think he won't be there. Whether he's used or not used, the fact that he was DLC the first time, the fact that Lei is the reason why Harada created the don't ask me for shit meme, whether he's played or not, just that simple fact that Harada was upset when this character was released, I think he will not be there. And it is a tragedy. I think this character is probably one of the best characters, one of the most unique. You talk about the fighting style, you talk about the stances. I think this is probably one of the most unique characters in the game. And sometimes being so unique and extravagant is a double-edged blade. Yoshimitsu falls in the same category. One of the most unique, flashy, extravagant, flamboyant characters. Maybe flamboyant isn't a correct term, but you guys get what I mean. But in that complexity also makes it sort of shuts out a lot of people from experiencing it because it's too complex. Something that I think about is when Forzen, the first time Forzen was going to play Tekken, he random selected and he said whichever character is selected randomly is the character I will play. He hit random select and the game picked Yoshimitsu, and everyone, the whole Twitch chat was like, no, don't play Yoshimitsu.
Okay, whoever I land on is going to be my main, okay? Boom. Oh man, I guess. Should I just like ditch Yoshimitsu? I know I said I would main whatever I random, but should I just ditch him? He's too hard, maybe?
And that's not really saying that Yoshimitsu is a bad character. It just means Yoshimitsu's not for everyone, and the same for Lei. And I just think, I don't know. I don't know if he will show up again as DLC. Maybe he just may not make it. We'll probably have to change him out for like Christine or Bruce or someone else, right? And then in Tekken 9, maybe he can show up again. Who knows, right? Who knows? But I just want to mention that. Let's talk about the next one. This one says, I got a better idea than mixing Devil Jin and Jin in Tekken 8. Now the reason why I selected this tweet is because something I always talk about is combining Jin and Devil Jin merging them on the character select screen to save space. We always talk about how cutthroat the Tekken 8 roster is, and I always argue that Devil Jin and Jin should be combined. Now, I understand there's a lot of people who are against that because they really are kind of their own different characters, and you do have a lot of people who love them both, right? Both characters, Jin and Devil Jin, are popular. So why would you merge two popular characters to make space for maybe a character who isn't popular? You know, so I do understand that argument, but I thought this tweet was funny. I'll read the full tweet. It says, "I got a better idea than mixing Devil Jin and Jin in Tekken 8. Just remove them both." Now, of course, this is just a joke. This is just for laughs. But I think this is just hilarious how the community is talking about the minute details of all these characters and how these things should function in Tekken 8. It's the original tweet says, "Thank you, Namco. So in Tekken 8, here you are. How should be Jin mixed with Devil Jin?" And then you can see there the moves where they say Jin. You can see the moves where they see Devil Jin. So it is possible to mix the two. Me personally, I would like to see what that looks like. We had those two characters separated for so long, I think forever. But I would like to see how it turns out being combined. Now, I'm not a Jin main. I'm not a Devil Jin main. So I don't really feel like it's right for me to demand that because, you know, it's not my character. That's the thing. When I talk about other characters that's not Yoshimitsu, I don't want to be too demanding because I don't want to say, oh, do this, do that with someone else's character. When it's Yoshimitsu, it's like the character I play. I played Yoshimitsu for 11 years. So it's a little bit more fair for me to say, do this, do that, right? But let's look at the next tweet. This one is more of just a general comment, a statement. It just says, "I'm so excited for finding out what 2022 will bring us in regards to the FGC. We will be witnessing either the end of the current generation and or the emergence of the next. I'm leaning towards the former, with Tekken 8 plus Street Fighter 6 bringing the next gen in 2023. Now, this is something we always talk about on the channel, so I'll make it short. 2022, 2023 really is going to be the start of the new era, and it's going to be ending an older era of the fighting games, right? You can really split the fighting game genre into so many eras. You have the arcade era, which is the beginning. You have after the arcade era, which was kind of, some people consider it the dark ages, right? That's when Call of Duty, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, you could consider that the dark ages. But then you can consider the next era of fighting games when Street Fighter 4 came out. And me personally, I would consider Street Fighter 4 all the way up to where we're at now, one era. I know that some people like to split it up, but I think now, 2022, 2023, we are entering in a new era. What that era will be, it's unknown. But a key indicator of what that era may be is what the developers are doing now. I have a headline of a news article. I'm just going to read the headline because this is about a different game. But I think what is happening in King of Fighters 15 is what's happening in every single other fighting game, and it's important to understand why, how, and who they are doing this for. It says, "Dolores is beautiful, mysterious, and easy to use according to King of Fighters 15 designers." So Dolores is a new character for King of Fighters 15. I don't know too much about that game. I don't really pay attention to it. But she's a new character. Everyone is super hyped. You have a ton of fan arts being created. So much fan art. A lot of it is not YouTube friendly, so I'll only show the ones that I can. But the part where I want to focus on is easy to use. This is something that we see the developers talking about a lot. Easy to use, beginner friendly, help the newcomers. And me personally, I am for helping new players. I am for it. But where I draw the line is they should not hurt legacy players. Everyone who's been playing for super long should not have to suffer the changes because of new players. The developers, they really have to find middle ground, common ground. You have to put in a good tutorial. You have to put in good tips and tools and things like that. Yes, I think it's okay to design characters to cater to new players or to help new players, but I think completely reworking the game and everything so that these characters are just like busted. That's the thing. Lucky Chloe. I always talk about Lucky Chloe, but she is a beginner friendly character. You only need the Cali roll. You only need her infinite low high string. You only need these few gimmicky things that works in beginner. And my whole thing is, they should not make these beginner characters so powerful. I feel beginner characters should be stepping stools to draw people in, right? You would pick a Katarina, you would pick a Claudio, you would pick a Lucky Chloe, so you get familiar with Tekken, how it works, learn the game, learn the mechanics, learn combos. But then at a certain point, the game should incentivize you moving on to bigger and better characters like Brian Fury, Yoshimitsu, Jin, Steve, Dragunov, Armor King, right? The game should not, and I guess you can kind of say that with ranked, like, oh, Lucky Chloe, Katarina. These beginner characters will only carry you so far. Eventually you'll hit a brick wall. This is something that I say a lot myself, but I really don't believe this is necessarily 100% true. I think you could get very far with Lucky Chloe. You could get very far with Katarina. I would say Claudio is probably one of the best characters in the game. If we look at his official win rates, he was like 7th or 8th. You had most of the top 10 spots being DLC characters, and then right after that you had Lucky Chloe, you had Alyssa, you had Lucky Chloe being in there. I think Lucky Chloe was like 13th, Alyssa was like 12. So my point is, I'm all for them helping people learn the game, but the tools that people use to learn the game should not be the tools that they also use to dominate the game with. Lucky Chloe should be there to train people how to use combos and things like that, but it should not dominate to where she's the most deadliest thing in the game, you know? I don't know. I just want to talk about this, give my thoughts on easy to use characters, right? All the developers focusing on that. Like I said, I'm for that, but I just don't want that to dominate everything. I still want it to be competitive. Like, I seen so many, when I talk about these things, look at the comment section, and people are so smart with what they're saying. I saw one person, he said something like, isn't the point of a fighting game to learn, to improve, to grow, right? When you have these characters who just Cali roll into 1 billion damage, what are you learning from that? When you have a character who has the best orbital in the game, they have the best keep out tools, but also some of the best pressure tools, what are you learning from that? I think now the developers has realized the game is not about learning, the game is about winning. That's something that I see. Everyone cares about winning, and the developers know that. So they're just going to help the new players win. Yeah, they'll try to teach them so they can learn more, but they're going to focus on keeping them happy and keeping them winning. And we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next generation. Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 12, Injustice 3, Smash, whatever, right? We'll see. But I just wanted to talk about this in the video, give my thoughts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.